hope you guys are ready for some cold weather story time. This week I'm coming at you guys from Wisconsin, where this past week it has been below zero every single day. The other day I woke up and it was negative 20 degrees. And then your eyelashes literally get icicles that hang from them and your eyelids stick together. That is how cold it is right now. So I'm sitting on the bed that I'm staying on at the moment because I'm a nomad and just trying to stay as warm as possible. Being back home in the Midwest has reminded me of some specific snapshots from my childhood. One particularly prominent story of my childhood is when I ran away from school. So those of you who grew up in cold weather states should be able to relate to this story I'm about to tell. When you're in elementary school and you take the bus, you have to wear snow boots to the bus stop. I would put on a huge puffy jacket with mittens that would have a string that went all the way through my arms so that I wouldn't lose them. I would put on a hat, I would get a scarf around my face, and literally the only thing you could see was my eyes. And I looked like that kid from the Christmas Story where I was like, I can't put my arms down. And I would wear thick snow pants over my jeans and huge heavy snow boots. All the kids in the neighborhood would get all bundled up in their snow gear and head off to the bus stop. We all looked like Michelin men. This was good because then I would have all the gear that I needed for recess that day. But you also had to remember to pack your shoes in your bag. This was vitally important in elementary school. If you forgot to pack your shoes, you were the social pariah. You were that one kid that was clunking around the halls in their boots, and everybody talked about you at lunch. Guaranteed. So one particular morning, I remember I had some homework to do before school started, but I still wanted to get a little bit of preschool recess time in. I had a few math problems or something like that. So I run in from the bus to my classroom and plop myself in my desk, put my bag next to me, and unzip, open the bag, and to my horror, my shoes weren't in the bag. I still get a little sweaty thinking about it. I forgot to pack my shoes. I'm pretty sure I had made that mistake a few other times in that same month, and I was not about to be that kid that had his snowshoes on all day. So I formulated a plan in my mind. I went to my third grade teacher and I said, how long until school starts? And she says, about 15 minutes. I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. I can run the mile in about 15 minutes. Of course, in third grade, I can run the mile at about 15 minutes in good conditions on flat ground with regular shoes and gym clothes on. I did not factor in the fact that there was snow dunes everywhere, that I would be running through traffic, that I would have snow boots on weighing me down. And I also did not factor in how far my house was from the school, nor did I factor in I had no idea how to get there. In my mind, how I got there was the school bus route, which was the least efficient way of getting back home because it winds and picks up as many kids as possible. My elementary school was basically a straight shot down one road to my house, but I had no idea. And even then, it was about 1.5 miles. So I'm thinking, I've got 15 minutes, I can run the mile in 15 minutes. I should easily be able to make it home, grab my shoes, get back to school, plenty of time. I asked my friend Jessica, I was like, Jessica, I need to go home and get my shoes. And she was like, don't tell me you forgot your shoes. And I was like, I forgot them. And Jessica was wearing a cute little dress with pantyhose and heels on. I was like, Jessica, you need to come with me. I can't do this journey on my own. And she was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. So Jessica and I leave school. Nobody sees us leave. And we begin the journey. I didn't tell Jessica yet at this point that I did not know where I was going, but we sort of went in this one direction. So we're going and we make it to an intersection that has a train that goes through it, and I'm like, this seems right. Cross the train tracks. So we cross the train tracks, and meanwhile cars are vroom, vroom, zoom, 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 whizzing by us because it's one of the busiest streets in my hometown. And there's two third graders, one kid who can't put his arms down with heavy boots on, dressed for Antarctic winter, and one girl who's basically dressed for her baptism in the summer. I'm trying to jog once in a while because I'm like, I've got to run. I can run the mile in 15 minutes, but oh God, those boots were weighing me down. And those snow dunes that I was trying to get through, this was like Tough Mudder North Pole edition for elementary school kids. We get maybe about 1/3 of a mile and I'm like, we've just been going straight. I know that the bus doesn't just go straight from my house to school. We have to make a turn somewhere. I'm like, Jessica, we go left here. And she's like, are you sure? I think the bus takes us that way. I was like, nope, it's a left. You guys, if you're ever in the car with me, never listen to me for directions. I sound certain, I have no idea. It's always the wrong way. Don't ever trust me. So we go left. After a while, I'm like, I don't recognize any of this. So I'm like, Jessica, I think you're right. I think we need to turn around. So we go back and I see the road that we were going straight on, which is the correct road that I need to go down. And I'm like, Jessica, we need to keep going course. And she's like, Anthony, I don't think I can make it anymore. This is too taxing for me. And I was like, okay, you wait here. I will come back for you. And she goes, you get your shoes. So I start running as fast as I can. And I'm running with my snow boots on, and I'm sure people in the cars as they're driving by are like, what the? I'm running, and I probably run a good mile before I get to an intersection that has a florist shop. I know that florist shop. It's near my house, but I don't know how to get to my house from the florist shop. Do I turn and cross a busy road that has 2 lanes going in both directions? Or do I just cut my losses and head back? I am at this crossroads for about 5 minutes contemplating my choices, and I decide, I can't make it. Little did I know, I was 1 block away from my home. So I turn around, and I run, and I walk, and I jog, and I stop. It took me a while to get back to Jessica. She's still sitting there, freezing, cold, in her quinceañera dress. And she says, did you get your shoes? And I looked down at my feet, sullen, and said, I didn't make it. And she goes, how could you not get your shoes, Anthony? I have been sitting out here for so long. I'm cold. I went with you. The whole reason we left was to get your shoes. And I said, I know, Jessica, I just didn't know how to get home. So together, we go back, we cross the train tracks, we walk past the playground, past the school office, and into our classroom, and all the kids are sitting in their desks, eyes to the door, looking at us walk in, and our teacher stands up from her desk and goes, where were you? We have been looking everywhere. We were about to call the police. We had been gone for 2.5 hours trying to get my shoes. In 5 minutes, the class was going to be lining up to go to lunch. We were in big trouble. But nobody understood. I didn't want to be that kid who had to wear his snow boots around school all day. I learned a valuable lesson that day. Always be the kid who's wearing his snow boots during school, because it's just not worth it to be normal. And with that, happy Tuesday. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Can any of you relate to being the snow boot pariah at school? If so, comment below. Have a great week.